Alright y'all, B-Bridges 100 back again. As promised, I'm going to go ahead and do a bit of disassembly and lubricating of my Mossberg 500. Alright, so start us off here. Grab my little roll here that I keep my Phillips and flathead screwdrivers in. And you know what? I guess we'll start right back here. Now, as you see, I got some Hoppy's 9 lubricating oil. I like to use that. It's good stuff. A little more expensive than rim oil, but it's a really good lubricant, and it doesn't dry as fast as the rim oil. And got some cleaning swatches here, even though I don't need to because I've already done it a few days ago. I'll go ahead and run some lubricant through the bore just to demonstrate it with this here. So, and then here I've actually got this full. This little box is actually full of Q-tips, little cotton swabs, so I can get into the smaller areas. So I'll go ahead and get a couple of those out. Alright, and then we got the precision screwdriver set. I only need one out of here, and I'll get to what that's used for in just a moment. Get the larger Phillips bit out. So, alright. I showed it previously in another video. If you didn't watch it, I'll go ahead and show you again. Mag tube on this, empty, nothing in it. Chamber, also empty. You can see I put my finger in there. Obviously, it's empty. So, go ahead and get that bolt to about the halfway point here on the receiver. And yeah, we'll start with the taking off the barrel here. So unscrew the screw cap that goes into the magazine tube, and the barrel should just slide right out. Easy as pie right there. Set that off to the side. And I don't need to do this. I'll go ahead and take my plug out of my magazine tube, my restrictor plug. That is just to restrict my magazine limit to 2 shells. I can only fit 2 slug shells into the magazine tube and 1 in the chamber at any given time. And that is mandated by law. So take this Phillips head screwdriver, go right in here in the butt pad here. This is a speed feed butt stock with the pistol grip built into it. Now, you won't always have to take your butt stock off, but this pistol grip here gets in the way of me taking my trigger assembly out. So I have to take this whole stock off to get to my trigger assembly and get that out. Of course, if I don't take that out, I really can't get anything else out, the bolt, the slide, or anything. So get in here. Sorry, this part's a little slow. Takes some doing. These screws are a little stripped, so I kind of have to put some opposing pressure onto this butt pad while I'm turning the screws. Otherwise, they won't come out. There we go. So, butt pad's out. Set that off to the side. Then take my flathead and go in here, and I don't know if you can see it or not, but there's a little flathead screw, bolt, what have you in there, which if you can't see it, you will here in just a minute. There we go. Man, I had that tight. Okay. Sorry, my kids are making a whole bunch of noise. What can you do? What can you do? If anyone knows a way to keep kids quiet, please tell me. I don't know of any way. So there you go. There's a good shot of that bolt for you that holds the stock onto the receiver. Sit that off to the side with the butt pad there. There we go. We're left with magazine tube and the 4-stop, the receiver, and the trigger assembly here. And that's where this comes into play. This little pin right here that holds the trigger assembly in place. All you do is give it a nice push. See, it pops out the other side here. So there's that pin. I'll set that off to the side here. And then trigger assembly pops right on out. Pretty simple. Alright, now we're into the inner workings. We're into the meat here, the good stuff. Get the bolt slide. Well, actually, take that back. Start by getting these rails out of here. There we go. Then slide that back. And there's the bolt slide. Actually, it looks like it's still pretty well lubricated. I'm kind of shocked, but we'll give it a little wipe down. And then go ahead and pull the 4 stock off of there. 4-arm stock. Put that off to the side. At this point, your bolt right here, you can slide it right out of the other side of the receiver there. You can see that. There's your bolt with your firing pin. I'm not going to take that apart. That's just too labor intensive, and I'm just not feeling it. And right here is this is actually the arm that feeds the next round after you've ejected a spent round. This is what elevates the next round into place to go into the chamber. Pull that on out. All you do is give it a squeeze, and these little pins on either side is what holds that into place in the holes in here. So there we go. Another thing, it's a big pain in the butt. This magazine tube is Loctited in here. The only way to get that out of there is by breaking that Loctite or heating it. And I just really have no desire to do it. The only time you really need to is if you need to replace your spring or your follower. But this is still pretty stiff. It's working good. I'm not going to mess with it. But we'll go ahead. I like to start on the receiver. You know, everyone else likes to do whatever. Everyone has their own way of doing it. Different strokes, you know what I mean? But what I will do is I'll grab my little blue shop towel here, and I love using these. If you're going to use anything, these are one of the, for me, the essential tools of gun cleaning. So, excuse me one second. Sorry about that, guys. Decided to shut the bedroom door to my kid's room. Shut them in there for a little bit, so we're not hearing them. Okay. So we'll go ahead and take our Hoppy lubricating oil, spray some right inside of the receiver there. Take our little shop towel, reach on in there, get that stuff worked all around. You see there's a little bit of black on it, if you can see it. And that's from just from sitting, really, dust and dirt getting in there. And take a little bit of lubricant on here and get into some of the finer grooves inside of here. And again, as I said, You don't have to do it this way. It's the way I like to do it, and it seems to work real well. If anyone knows a better way, let me know to get into some of these tight spots. See, that's a little dirty right there. But there we go. Spray a little bit even on the outside of the receiver here. Give it a good wipe down. The receiver, you don't have to worry too much about rust. It is aluminum receiver on this, as opposed to the the steel mag tube here and the barrel. That's where you tend to get more of the rust spots right here. There we go. All lubed up. Sit it right there out of the way. Okay. On to the next bit. I go straight into my bits and pieces here. As I said, I'm not going to disassemble the bolt or the trigger assembly. Just too labor intensive, and I'm not feeling it. So, start right here on the slide. The bolt carrier, rather. I keep calling it a slide. I don't know why I keep saying that. You know what I mean? Bolt carrier. Start on that. It's got a little bit of dirt and dust in there, but not too bad. There's that. This I'm not really going to do much with. I'll go on to this. Really, I just like to wipe down right here where the trigger would, that's what would strike the firing pin, which would cause the firing pin to strike your primer on your shells. Give it a little wipe down there. All in all, it's fairly clean though, so not going to spend a whole lot of time on that. Go on to the bolt and apply some of the lubricant. Just wipe it all down, get it all nice and shiny on the outside, and then take my other Q-tip. Sorry, I'm totally in the zone doing this. I'm not even talking, or maybe I am and I don't realize it. Not trying to leave you guys hanging, just kind of in zen mode here. Get down all the little nooks and crannies and crevices of that bolt. Yeah, see that? Right there on the spring of that pushes the firing pin out. Getting a good amount of dirt off of that. Looks nice and clean now. So there's the bolt. Don't have to worry about the pin for the trigger assembly. And got plenty of lubricant on this towel now. I can just kind of give these a little wipe down, these little ejector arm here, and get that nice and wiped down and lubricated. And you don't want to have too much lubricant. I mean, you really don't want to fill your gun with oil, you know. You want it to be able to function well and nice and smooth, but you don't want oil seeping out of your gun or onto your shells that you put in there. So wipe down the elevator here. Good enough. I mean, that's really it. There's you got your stock here, forearm. Give that a little wipe down right there on the arms. And when it gets real dirty, you want to clean out the inside of this tube too, but it's not too bad. I mean, there's really no sediment or anything in there. I haven't been out shooting. It's been clean since I went hunting during the winter. But alright, so that's all those pieces. Pick that up, move it off to the side with our receiver and magazine tube onto the barrel. And I could take the sight off, but you know, no sense in it. Don't really need to. We'll go ahead and take one of our swatches here, our little cleaning cloths, or a couple of them. Take our bore brush. I like to put this on here dry, kind of stick it into the bristles. Then I just give it a little spray down with some lubricant. Other people might do it differently. Maybe you spray lubricant right into your bore. That's fine too, as long as you don't leave a whole bunch in there. You don't want to have a ton of it in this chamber here. But we're going to go into the chamber side and just push that on through. And while you do this, you can see this handle here spins as it follows the lands and grooves of that rifling in there. Boop, pop right out the other side. Take this off. See, it's a little bit of dust on there. For the most part though, pretty clean. Pull our brush on out. And then you want to take a dry cloth. Put the dry cloth on there, no lubricant this time. This is just to wipe out excess lubricant. Push it on through. Got a bit more dirt on there. So that's good. You're never going to get it all out. I mean, you can, but you're going to waste a whole lot of cleaning swatches. There's no point in it. Okay, so there it is. That's that. And although it's not really in need of it right now, I'll go ahead and wipe down the outside of the barrel here too. Spray some of that on there. And I just take this and I go in a circular motion and work my way up and down the barrel there. And I don't wipe it off all the way. I don't want it to be dry. You know, what's the point of the lubricant if it's just going to be dry? This is kind of why I use this. As I said before, rim oil tends to dry out a lot faster, it evaporates faster. It's good high quality lubricant, right? I can't even talk. High quality lubricant. Now we can go back into reassembly, and basically you just do what you did before, but you know, backwards. So start with the elevator arm, squeeze it together, put it down in place. And come on now. There it goes. Back into place. Go onto the bolt. Slide my bolt in the end of the receiver there. And there's a certain way you want to line this up. I try to line up, I don't know if you can see it. I'll try to use this. Try to line up the this line right here where the bolt carrier will sit in. I try to line it up with this little line here if you can see it. I don't know if you can see it or not. But that way when I put the bolt carrier in, which is next, it should fall right into place. And there it is. It fell right into place. And actually what I should have done first, I'm doing this on video, I'm not thinking straight. You're going to want to put these force stock on here. There we go. Slide that back into place and pull this bolt carrier up a little bit. There we go. That actually fits down into that. Alright, now we'll go back to closing this, about getting that bolt about halfway right here in this opening of the receiver. Go back to having that where it was. Then we can put our rails back in. Put them in the right way though. They're only going to fit in one way too, so you know, if it doesn't fit on one side, it goes on the other. But there we have it. Got those back into place. Take our trigger assembly and just fit it right back in where it goes. And you can see it's kind of springs out of here. So you want to hold it down. Take your pin for your trigger assembly, put it in the hole, push it right back into place. And there we go. Locked in there nice and tight. And then move on to our stock here, butt stock. Put that back where it goes there. Take your flathead screwdriver and screw that into place. Sorry if this video is boring to some of you guys, but I know there are going to be people out there wanting to know the proper way of cleaning this gun, and hopefully this video is a good demonstration of how it's done. You know, as I said, a lot of people are going to do it differently. This is just my way. You don't have to use my way if you don't want to. But this isn't a full cleaning, this is just a lubricating. I do have some Hoppies cleaning solution as well, a cleaning solvent, and it's really good stuff, but it's very corrosive. You don't want to get it on anything that's petroleum based because it will corrode it. So in other words, this plastic here, you don't want to get it on there, it can corrode that. So there it is, the stock's back on. Now it's time for barrel reassembly here. You just want to line, I have the cantilever scope, so you just want to line that up with the top of the receiver there, and it should slide right back into place. Got that into place. Just screw the end cap back on. Make sure it's good and tight. There we go. Do a check to make sure everything's working right. It's on safe. Won't fire. That's good. Safety's working. Flip it onto fire. Perfect. I hold the trigger down, rack the slide again, and then when I let off the trigger, I should hear a click. There it was. And then fires. And then rack the slide again. There's a little release here so you can rack it again after you've done it once. Make sure that works. And it does. So there it is, fully reassembled Mossberg 500A 12 gauge pump action deer slugster. So hopefully this has been a helpful video to you guys. If you like it, leave me comments. If you don't like it, leave me comments. Doesn't matter. No hate comments though, please. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do that. And I appreciate you guys watching. Till next time, y'all take it easy.